Good afternoon, everyone. We'll just wait for a few more seconds for everyone to come in for today's informative and interactive webinar in how to create your business plan. Some general housekeeping items. This is a recorded webinar. So in case you have to step out, answer a phone call, don't worry. All participants will be receiving today's presentation along with the recording through our YouTube channel. So definitely encourage you to like and subscribe as well. Also, if you have any particular questions throughout today's webinar, I strongly encourage you to put them in the Q&A. And like that, throughout today's presentation, I'll be more than happy to answer those questions for you. This also serves as another opportunity to connect with fellow business owners, entrepreneurs that is present today. In terms of what type of business do you have, what type of industry. It's about networking opportunities for everyone to create a strong ecosystem in growing your business. But at the same time, I want to get to know you in regards to if you have a business plan, don't have a business plan. What are your thoughts when I say business plan? Is it overwhelming? Is it scary? But at the same time, what is the intended purpose of you having a business plan? Is it for access to capital, day-to-day business operations, or even putting those ideas that you have in your head, put them in a piece of paper? So I want to get to know more about you and how, and at the end of the day, on how this webinar, how to create your business plan, will create some aha moments. And that is my goal for today. Okay, I have one that doesn't have one yet. I do see some familiar faces, so I want to say hi. It's been a while I haven't seen you, and I'm happy that you're here at today's webinar. Okay, I have one right here. Yes, it's intimidating in developing business plan. Don't worry, we'll talk about that more in depth in today's presentation. Yep, access to capital. That's one of the big goals. And the good thing, when we talk about the access to capital slides, we definitely have some consultants that can help you in regards of reviewing the intended purpose, make sure your numbers are symmetrical and it's attainable, but at the same time, make sure that your projections are conservative as well. Okay. Let's see. Okay, perfect. Okay, yep, investors. That's a very important investors, because you have to attract to them, have their language, make it more attractive for them. And at the same time, don't worry, being overwhelmed. Everyone's overwhelmed. But the good thing about today's presentation, it is more of a conversation and helps you to plug and play based on the questions I'll be asking you in the respected fields of the business plan. So it's more of a conversation, and I'm giving you the templates how to do so. And thank you for the kind words. I appreciate it. Okay, perfect. So let me go ahead and get started. So once again, I want to thank you all for attending today's webinar. My name is Jesus Padilla. I am the Manager of Administrative Services here at the Florida SBDC at FIU. And I want to thank you all attending for how to create your business plan. So a brief description of the Florida SBDC network. It is funded through a cooperative agreement with the U.S. Small Business Administration. Along with the Florida SBDC at FIU under the FIU College of Business, we work with businesses that are physically located here in Miami-Dade County and Monroe County. But if your business is located outside of the Miami-Dade Monroe County jurisdiction, don't worry. My colleague Leo Duarte, he will be able to put my email address in the chat, as we'll be more than happy to connect you with your local SBDC in your area. So in case if your business is located in the Tampa, Pinellas County region, the USF, the SBDC at USF will be able to help you out. If you're located in Jacksonville area, the UNF SBDC will be able to guide you. So we're here to provide you those connections and building that bridge with your local SBDC to help your business to grow and succeed. What are some of the areas that the SBDC network provides? It's that one-on-one business consulting. The good thing is that it's no-cost business consulting to you and focuses on various topics: startup assistance, access to capital, international trade and development, the marketing growth strategies, the business plan assistance, government contracting, But then at the same time, today's presentation is about creating a business plan. You need that market research, those data points. This is where you're able to have access to those industry analysis, those trends, the information, the market research that is needed to put in where your prospective and existing clients are located, along with trainings and workshops as such you're here today. So we're gonna go ahead and get started, and we'll be talking about several key objectives. Some of the key objectives I will be discussing, it is the definition of a business plan. What are the key components of that business plan? How you're able to apply those planning principles, the best practices when writing a business plan. And I know that we talked about earlier in regards of what are your thoughts? Is overwhelming, it's intimidating, it's scary. But at the same time, how do you start? Is it on a piece of paper? Is it more flying the plane and seeing what, fixing the plane while it's still flying, throwing spaghetti to the wall, but seeing what kind of pasta actually does stick to the wall? So based on the show of hands, if you want to elaborate, how have you started planning your business venture? Is it more trial and error? Is it more a blueprint? I'll just wait for a few seconds for some of the responses. Okay, yep. So I've seen some trial and errors right here. Okay. Yes, if you have a question, if you raise your hand, I'm trying to encourage you to put them in the Q&A. And like that, I'll be able to answer those questions for you. Yep, getting the website built. Yep, that's a good starting point. Okay, yep, the conceptual stage. Yep. Yeah, it's the idea, the concept, and also if it's viable in the marketplace as well. Website, yep. So this is where don't let the idea of drafting a business plan delay the opportunity to move forward. Focus on how you could get the idea out of your head and onto paper. This is where most of our entrepreneurs, they lose track in drafting that business plan. It's intimidating. They don't know where to start. It's overwhelming, time constraints. Because at the end of the day, you are the CEO of your business. You're the chief everything officer. You're the IT person. You're the HR, the marketing, the sales, the operations. So you're everything. So that's where some entrepreneurs, they lose track. But at the same time, just even having a small outline will definitely helps you to start planning out your business venture. Yep, I love this one, figuring out as you go. Yes, but at the same time, it's try and error, and who knows, you might find new markets that could definitely buy your products and service. So that definitely figuring it out and seeing what sticks definitely helps. Yep. Okay. The business plan is a blueprint for your success. It talks about the framework of your business, the business model, declares your visions, showcases the necessary steps to fulfill that vision that you have outlined. And it's that roadmap for your business. As once again, it serves as a strategic direction of how you want to navigate your business. So having the more, like everyone has that moral compass, let the business plan be that compass for your business. And now, what are some of the components of that business plan? It will talk about the key pillars. Just think of it like the four walls of a house. What are the key pillars that will hold the business plan? It is who you are. No one knows, no one knows better than you do. So elaborate who you are, why you're in business, what you do, how you do it, where you operate. Is it home base? Is it brick and mortar? Is it in e-commerce business? How you generate profits? Is it more in a subscription model? Is it more a person to person? Is it B2B? Is it B2C? And who are your customers? Is it a family owned? Is it young families? Is it more children? Is it more adult professionals? Is it more medical industries? So pretty much picking who are the ideal customers, This is where you're able to start enhancing and elaborate more in depth as to who you're able to cater the business plan to obtain and retain additional clients and customers. But most importantly, why is your business important? This will be more the marketing branding side as creating that value proposition. The value proposition is that declaration of how you're able to stand out amongst the competitors. What what is your niche in the everlasting competitive marketplace? And this is where some business plans, I know that we discussed earlier, some will be like the day-to-day business operations, or which are the internal stakeholders. Well, I know that we had one person saying that it was for the investors. Those are the external stakeholders. So having a business plan that is designed to communicate with a specific audience will, one, captivate their attention. They have the same understanding, language, and the ask as to why you develop this business plan, so they'll be able to understand more in depth. The internal stakeholders is those that work with the business on the day-to-day operations, the management team, the employees, the everyday financials, and to know your mission and vision as well as your target market customers. Those that know the ins and outs of the business. And some of the areas that you need to focus on the business plan of the internal stakeholders is the operating budget, the market research, the competitor analysis. What are you doing that the competitors are not doing? And vice versa, what are they doing that you're not doing? So that's a good opportunity for you to fully understand that market research. It could be the pricing models. If I am selling this pen for $1 and someone else is selling it for 50 cents, but what other value are they getting? It could be the marketing, their pricing points. It could be their menu items if you're in the food and restaurant business. So having a clear cut analysis of your competition definitely serves as a good trajectory of your projections for the 3 to 5 years. The sales list, the product design, if you have any prototypes. Perfect. Okay. Oh, sorry about that. Yes, and I did receive a question in regards of help with the market research. That's not a problem. Feel free to shoot me an email, and I'll be able to connect you with the appropriate consultants to guide you with the industry, the market research, instead of the guessing. Because at the same time, if you are just guessing like if you're fishing and you're guessing that the fishes will bite in this pond versus actually analyzing that it's the actual bait and the right lure, right there, perhaps it's a better lake on this side. So it definitely will help you out with the market research and analysis. Then secondly, as we talk the internal, now let's talk about the external. Who are the ones that will be reading this business plan? Some potential investors, the bankers, even business partners. And if you're looking for any traditional loan, talk about how much are you looking for, how the funds will be used. Is it more for machinery? Is it more for human capital to continue growing the business, to sustain the demand? What those funds will accomplish? It could be potential growth and an X amount, or expanding the business to a new market. And how do you plan to repay? Everything's fine and dandy, but at the end of the day, the lenders, the external stakeholders, if you're looking for a traditional loan, it's how am I going to get my money back? Based on if I lend you something. So it's a give and take relationship. And if you have any collateral that you have to offer, a house, it could be the machineries, it could be any equipment. So definitely, if you're looking for a traditional loan with the assistance of creating a business plan, don't worry. I strongly encourage you to meet with our business consultants, and they'll be able to guide you with the loan packaging, the loan applications, getting you the necessary capital that you need, but at the same time, the development of the business plan to make sure that it's attractive to obtain the necessary funds that you're seeking for your business. This is where there is mixed feelings or mixed information in regards how far you need to project your business plan, or how many pages. So definitely encouraged to develop a business plan that's projected for 3 to 5 years ahead. It outlines what the company intends to do in its yearly milestones and include the revenue projections. Granted, this is a living, breathing document. For example, we have clients or businesses that had business plans in 2019. These are my goals for the next 3 to 5 years. Look at 2020. Everything changed, pivoted, new markets existed. Even the existing markets may have decreased, or the consumer behavior has changed. So you always have to be adapting and to reflect those changes in that business plan. So always have a clear-cut information to make sure that it's outlining what your company intends to do, but the key elements of your business and influences those key decision-making skills. So we talked about how to develop the business plan. Some had the feelings of it's overwhelming, it's scary, haven't even started. So the good thing about today's webinar and now onward for the next few slides, these are the key questions that you will be answering yourself to plug them in your business plan model. So before writing the business plan, consider these 4 questions and always have it in your mind while you're developing it. What service or product does your business provide and what need does it fill? Who are your potential customers for the product or service and why would they purchase it from you versus the competition? How will you reach your potential customers? And last but not least, where will you find the financial resources to start or grow your business? Have these 4 key questions in your mind as you're developing your business plan. Yes, in terms of how many pages it should be a business plan, it should be no more than 5 to 7 pages. Because you also want to have the appendices for any certifications, your past, like a little portfolio of what you have done. And in the tail end of the presentation, you will see some additional appendices where you could elaborate more in depth. Because you want to captivate the reader's attention. So if you give them a business plan that has 50 pages, you're gonna lose their attention. So having something quick that captivates their attention and you're able to go straight to the point. This is who I am. This is what I'm able to offer, and these are my projections and how we're able to grow based on the ask that you're providing. And this is where you're able to elaborate a little bit more. Your company description. What's your legal structure? What's your mission and vision statement? What are your goals for the company? What are some objectives? The general overview of your product and service. How's the industry? Is it growing? Is it decreasing? What is the trends of that industry? The company management and the organizational structure. So these are key areas that you have to elaborate and just go straight to the point in regards of your company description. And I just want to touch base before we proceed. Does any of you have a mission statement or a vision statement, or how to develop one? Okay, perfect. I love it. No, okay. So we have a almost like a 60-40 split right here. So yes, I have some visions. I have some mission statements. Some have no. Perfect. Okay, that's not a problem. So, and we have consultants that can guide you in the branding to make sure that your mission and vision is also what you're representing. So like, for example, if I want to have a steakhouse, I'm not gonna say we have the best salads. So make sure like the branding and the messaging is correlating with your mission and vision statement. So a mission statement is an action-based statement that declares the purpose of an organization and how they serve their customers. Nike. What is Nike's mission statement? It is bring inspiration and innovation to every athlete, asterisk, in the world. So if you have a body, you're an athlete. That is Nike's mission statement. Along with the vision, it's what are the mid and long-term goals stating what you want to become in the future. So for example, the Florida SBDC network, what is the vision that we have? It is creating a better Florida for all by helping businesses grow. That is the vision statement. Now, Southwest Airlines, what is their vision statement? Is to be the world's most loved, most efficient, and most profitable airline. So that's where you have to do a self-assessment, analysis of your business. What are your long-term, mid-term goals, and what you will want to become in the future. And this is where the business goals and objectives have to be attainable and specific. It could be meeting a level of customer satisfaction, reach an annual sales target. But this is really important. If your business is already in operations, highlight any major accomplishments or successes. So for example, if the Florida SBDC FIU is creating a business plan, this is where we're able to provide. You know, we would like to assist with businesses to grow and succeed by 10% of annual sales. Or by 2025, we would like businesses to obtain or attract capital investment of $1 billion. And how we're going to do it, we're going to do this, this, and this. But then at the same time, we want to highlight some major accomplishments. Like in 2023, the Florida SBDC FIU was a National SBDC of the Year. So right there, it provides those major accomplishments, more credibility, and the successes that you have provided. So right there, the reader knows you know your stuff, and you're building that trust already. At the same time, you're educating them as well. With the products and services, this is where you're able to provide an enticing overview of what you're offering, the descriptions, the pricing explanation, what's your competitive edge. And this comes out from those market and competitor analysis that we discussed earlier. And with the target market, this is where you're able to have fun based on your primary and secondary target markets. This is who will be buying from you. Why do you think that they will buy from you? And include the company's location, whether you anticipate moving in the future, or even expanding to different segments. So this is where you're able to highlight who are the key customers and why they will buy from you. With the industry, this is where we're able to do an analysis of the industry, if it's growing, if it's decreasing. What is the industry? Is it in the medical industry? Is it more in the tech industry? What industry is it? Is it growing? Is it decreasing? What changes do you foresee, and how will your company plan to take advantage of these changes? One of the key benefits of being a small business owner is that you're able to adapt quickly what the marketplace is dictating. Think of it like as a canoe. It's easy to navigate through a canal versus a cruise line or cruise ship making a 3-point turn. So that is one key advantage of being a small business owner, to understand what the industry is dictating in the more everlasting competitive marketplace. But at the same time, how do you compare to the competitors in the industry? It could be your indirect and direct competitors. It could be like the big businesses, but at the same time, those within like a 2-mile radius of that industry. And this is where you're able to talk about more of the management structure in support of what your company does, such as how is your company management is organized, what makes the key decisions, is it board of directors, is it just a CEO, or is it more a conversation with all the senior leadership? What are your values that drive the company? Is it more to be equal green, equal friendly? Is it more to give back to the community? What are your values? How many employees do you have? What do they do? And how are they paid? Do you anticipate this changing? It could be branching off to a different market, or a segment of the business to focus on the international side. So it all varies based on how is your management structure. And this is where the organizational part comes into play. Who are the key players in your business? Describe the leadership of your company. Once again, include the organizational chart. And who are the principal members of your company? What are their roles? But at the same time, if you have any tax professionals, accountants, legal, list them there and describe that relationship and talk about your company's core competencies. But this is where we talked earlier in regards of highlighting some of your successes. This is one of them right here, the regulatory requirements. What legal requirements your business faces, such as licensing permits that operates with or needs, but at the same time, highlight those special operating achievements or certifications your company has. So like if you are in the government contracting sector, highlight those certifications, those permits that you have. If you're in the food industry, highlight those as well. So this is where you're able to start creating those blueprints, those credibility for branding your business. So you're marketing yourself by highlighting those achievements as well. This, I know that we talked earlier in regards to the market research, how to do those those analysis. This is where there's various forms of doing the market research. You could go as a ticket shopper, you could sit in a bench and start analyzing the foot traffic of a particular restaurant, or based on any potential customers, get to know them. What are some of the touch points that they enter the shop? But at the same time, ask them questions, survey them. What are some of the pain points of your buying journey? Are you being educated? Are you being followed up with how was your experience? How was your service? But the industry, how is the industry? What is the opinions? What are the facts of that industry? So this is where you're able to start. Once again, we talked about the target markets. This is where you're able to start segmenting those consumers with similar characteristics that will cause them to have a similar product needs. Divide them up in terms of primary and secondary target markets that behave the same way and have those similar needs, because each segment is somewhat similar with their needs and attitudes that would most likely respond similar with the specific marketing strategy. Perfect example. My brother had a baby girl, my niece. So they told me, Jesus, I want you to buy baby clothes from this particular shop. That shop has been emailing me on a weekly basis as, hey, as the baby is growing, I'm sending you a 10% discount, $20 gift card, so you could buy clothes for your niece. I am their primary target market because they want the family members to spoil the newborn. My brother and his wife are the secondary target markets. Even though we are in the same family, there is a baby in our lives, but by targeting the family members, that is where they'll generate more funds or more sales, more traction, to buy from them. So if and when I have a family of my own, I have that pleasant experience with them. I already built that relationship, that trust. I become a loyal customer, and that creates I get moved from a primary to a secondary, and then my family will be buying gifts to spoil the newborn. So and right there, it's responding similarly with those specific target marketing strategies. So you could definitely use that in different areas as people are growing or phasing or even increasing the market share, that they morph into one. So now you could find other pockets of the marketplace that you could definitely tap into. So if it works in one location, now let's expand. For example, another one, Miami Beach. I want to open up an ice cream shop in Miami Beach because it's there's a big demand, tourist foot traffic, and it's hot. So having ice cream shop in Miami Beach, perfect. I was successful, but now let's move to downtown Miami, different markets. But is there a big demand or a need for an ice cream shop in downtown Miami? So by having an understanding of the characteristics, the behaviors, now you're able to touch points on different markets. Yes. In regards to parents are secondary and the uncle is primary, yes, because what what the store wants is to have, or the parents are going to be are not going to be buying that many gifts or clothes or toys as opposed to relatives. The relatives will definitely buy more and spoil the newborn versus the parents. So like that, like it's just like having like a baby shower. Like who spends more money on the clothes, the parents or the loved ones? So that's how it was. Unless unless if someone else has another example based on your industry. And this is where you're able to describe a little bit more in depth of the industry that you operate in, as well as any potential prospective clients that your business within the industry. But at the same time, knowledge is power. Your industry knowledge, as well as the prospects of your business, should be clearly illustrated here. What is your industry? Is it if it's in the construction industry, mechanical engineering? What is your industry? What's the current size? And what share of that market will you have? Is it the South Florida region? Is it more at the national level? Identifying the characteristics of those in your target market, that you should also determine the size of your potential market. So for example, my target market is that will definitely buy from me, it's 5 million households. But I would like to determine at least 1% of this marketplace that would be my ideal customers. The end goal is to everyone buying from you, but if you're able to tap a small percentage, yeah, you're on the winning side. But focus on who are your competitors in your industry and who will be your direct competitors, as we discussed earlier. So for example, if you want to do like a daycare facility, within a 10-mile radius, these are the heavy hitters. These are the big competitors in the industry. But then the direct ones could be those that are across the street or right next to each other or within a 1-mile radius, because they're tapping into the same potential customers. What are the trends in your growth in the industry, consumer preferences, the product development? What are some of the advantages and disadvantages you have over your competitors? So this is where we talked about the value proposition along with the competitive analysis and what are the barriers of entering in this industry. And this is what we talk about more, the customer research, the target markets. You could utilize free public databases such as the U.S. Census Bureau, the Department of Labor, but at the same time, the Florida SBC network has access to multiple tools and research that can definitely guide you and enhance those key decision-making processes of developing those strategies for those profiles of your consumers and identifying those key target markets as well. So determine what needs your business will satisfy. Answer these questions within the section of your plan. Who are your current and prospective customers? What do they buy and why? Will they buy your product? What price would it pay? Think of the Goldilocks approach. If it's too high, the perception is that you're not gonna fulfill a big marketplace. It's gonna be outside of my wheelhouse, outside my price tolerance. But if you price it too low, it would be, what's the perception? How's the quality? So you have to have that Goldilocks approach to have it right in the sweet spot, that it doesn't go above the tolerance of the consumer's pain point. Why might your customers prefer your product over the alternatives? And what market segments or groups will likely buy from you? So having a good understanding of your key customers, this is where you're able to start elaborating a little bit more in depth. And before you know it, you will have a good buyer persona of who will be buying from you, the characteristics, the behaviors, And also you could tap into additional markets that the particular consumer likes to do. So when I was doing my MBA, I had to pick a business, and I chose 7-Eleven because they had a really good understanding of the customers. And Joel Thompson, the founder of 7-Eleven, said, give the customers what they want, when and where they want it. Look at the United States. The 7-Eleven is the grab snacks and everyday products on the go, like a quickie mart. But look at Indonesia. It's a trending hotspot where young people spend time, surf the web, meet their friends. While in Taiwan, it's a place to service your bicycle and photocopy. 7-Eleven is successful in 3 countries by understanding what the consumers want. And you as well could adapt and pivot based on what the consumers like and don't like and what they want to buy from you. You're able to alter the market growth. So for example, ice cream. If everyone likes cookies and cream and you have vanilla vanilla with raisins, that right there is not what the market is dictating. So having a good understanding of what the customers want, when and where they want it, you'll be able to be successful and also apply those needs that those customers want so they could come back to you again. To provide your audience a clear understanding of why you're in business, what you sell, and how you compete, focus on what products and services that you're providing, what's unique about it, what are its important features, what would it do for the customer, how does it benefit them. So this is where you're able to start having an understanding of your value proposition. And last but not least, so the 2 key words, it's value proposition and the competitor analysis. Those are the 2 key words while developing the business plan. Why is it better for the customer when compared to the competition? Describe your pricing structure. Is it more a subscription base? Is it more an annual base? Is it more a one-time off? What factors give you a competitive advantage and disadvantage? Do you keep inventory? What kind? How much? What's the inventory turnover? Focus on who are your key suppliers. In which life cycle stage is your product and service? What research and development activities you're performing? But at the same time, what intellectual property rights do you have for your business, for the product and service? What patents do you have? So this is a good opportunity for you to highlight once again what you could bring to the table to captivate the reader's attention. To develop your marketing sales strategy, focus on what's your plan to grow your company? How will you communicate with your customers? Is it more have a billboard, have targeted ads in a particular area? Is it more paper ads? Is it more radio ads? How is going to be your marketing strategy to communicate with the customers? And how will you sell your product and service? So focus on these questions while developing your sales strategy along with your marketing strategy as well. So with the marketing, this is where you'll be able to focus those accomplishments, those pain points that the customers are not satisfied with your competitors, and how you're able to satisfy their needs with the products that you're able to offer. A good marketing strategy will be based on your market research to determine what customers want and what they will pay for. So sometimes, like I have a family friend of mine, she's a photographer. So she started to do wedding photography. The first 10 customers that hired her to take their wedding photos, she did for free. Because she wanted to build a portfolio as this is what I'm able to provide in my portfolio. So that was her marketing tactic. And now she's able to continue to grow and expand that pretty much I don't see her on the weekends because she's in weddings and in 15s and in other events as well. So that is a good opportunity for one person, small business owner, to have a good marketing strategy based on the market research and what they will pay for. So she will have an idea to continue providing additional services. And that has helped her to identify new markets that she can definitely target to. So this is a good opportunity to start highlighting where else can I tap into the marketplace that could definitely buy my services or products. And by doing so, this is where we're able to create the 4 Ps of marketing, which is a place, price, promotion, and product. And this is where don't pull numbers out of thin air in your sales strategy. Prepare the month-to-month projections based on those historical sales, industry, and market research. So let's use an example right now in school uniforms for children. Usually there is a big boost, a big spike in the months of July, August, maybe September, but it's flat in the month of March or April. So right now you already know what's going to be your sales strategy to go and start beefing up a little bit more in the projections for the following years, that I will need X amount of inventory, X amount of in my budget to market my business in the high months. Perhaps you might do something in the winter, like back to school, back to New Year in January, in case if someone definitely had a lot of eggnog and candy canes that definitely need new school uniforms. That could be a little small spike as well. So based on the market research, the industry, and the historical sales, you're able to start having a story and narrative when working with the respective lenders. And how will this sales will lead to company growth? The funding request, I know that we talked earlier in regards of for investors, for lenders. This is where you're able to identify the exact amount of funding that you need to start or already grow your business with the financial projections. So the funding requirements in your business plan, it's talk about what's the intended usage. Once you receive it, it's the funding request for capital expenditures, working capital, retirement, acquisitions. But at the same time, think of the other way. Are you being acquired? Is it debt repayment? Are you selling your business? So the different areas how you're able to obtain the necessary funds. And then with the financial projections, this is where some of our consultants, they work together with the access to capital consultant or a growth and marketing strategic consultant with our business plan consultant in regards of explaining the revenue forecast to make sure that numbers are aligned, that it reads and it's correct, that it's attainable, how much money you have, how much you need, when and how your business expects to make profit, which I'll talk a little bit in a few slides, the break-even analysis, along with whether your marketing operation processes, the plans, how much it will cost, and the 3 financial projections, the 3 financial statements. So for example, if you're trying to market this pen and you're like, I want to have an influencer, I want to have all these social media ads, I want to have all these items, and all my expenses will be $100,000. And based on the projections, make sure in the balance sheets, the financial statements, the cash flow, the P&Ls, and it shows that you're only generating $10,000, that will be very difficult to obtain a $100,000 loan. But what's the narrative? What's the seasonal? What are historical trends? Then if you're able to obtain a micro loan or a loan of 25,000, now you have to rework everything and shave off $75,000 worth of your budget. So having a good understanding of the revenue forecast, how much you need, how you're going to tend to use it, along with the marketing processes, this will definitely help out and create that narrative that is attainable and realistic as well. Yes, being acquired, it is a bigger firm. So the question was, what's the difference between being acquired and selling your business? I thought they were the same. Being acquired, it is a bigger entity is purchasing your business. So for example, if I'm selling pens and I want to tap into the pencil business and you are selling pencils, I would buy you. I'll buy the business so that I'm able to diversify the marketplace as, hey, not only do I sell pens, I also sell pencils. Selling your business is that I want to retire. What's my exit strategy? So my family doesn't want to run the business. I want to sell it. And so that's where you're able to sell your business. So that's two different areas. So you're able to have a business plan for someone that's well versed in the industry and has a business valuation. So right there, you have a clear cut number as to how much your business is valued, which we have consultants that can guide you through that and make sure that it's a realistic number. Sometimes we have clients that say, my pen business is a $10 million business, but we're looking at all the liabilities, the obligations, the actual business value is actually $750,000. So that is where you have to set the realistic expectations of how much your business is worth, so you could be bought out. And the good thing about the SBA, it has a lot of links and resources for you to have everything organized for you. So you have to be reinventing the wheel, being stressed. Where do I have to start? Definitely encourage you to use these templates in your business plan. How to do a plug and play of your balance sheets. It reports the company's assets, the liabilities, the equity of the business. But the next slides will be about the financial projections. The amount of money that's entering and leaving your business over a given period of time. It could be on a monthly, it could be on a weekly, it could be a yearly. And this will definitely enable you to meet your existing financial obligations as well as plan for the future. The profit and loss, it will discuss more in regards of the fixed and variable expenses. Each entry on the P&L provides insight of the cash flow of the business and shows where the money is coming from and coming to. The fixed expenses, it is the same amount expenses for the business. It could be the rent, it could be the salaries, it could be any like the internet expense. The variables, it could be any sales commissions, any depreciation assets. It could be, the inventory. 1 month I had the goods and I sold everything, and 1 month I sold nothing. So that's the variable expenses, and that creates the COGS, the cost of goods sold, the cost of goods sold as well. So this is where you have a good financial analysis of your business on a particular given time period. And I know we discussed earlier, but this is where's the break-even analysis. And the break-even analysis, it shows the sales threshold that needs to surpass before the business becomes profitable. So always have that in mind. So for example, if you're selling one product and it costs an X amount of dollars, how many units you have to sell? So you'll be able to already start being on the black, on the red, on the black, generating profit. So before you hit that sweet spot of a threshold, you're always going to be on the red. And the good thing is that we some of our consultants that do the financial forensic analysis, they'll be able to tell you based on the projections that if you keep at this pace on this particular time frame, you'll be able to start seeing some growth with a variance of a plus minus of X amount of months or year based on what you're doing at this present time. Granted, things could change from 1 year to the next, but at least you have a clear milestone date as to when you'll be able to accomplish that. So I know that we talked about the appendices. What do you include in the appendices? Like what season do you gotta put into the chicken to make it flavorful? This is where you're able to do it. The brochures, what marketing advertising materials do you have? Blueprints, plans. How about any government contracts that you have obtained? Any press releases, industry studies, case studies that you have done? But then if you're venturing towards the government contracting side, this is where you're able to put your capability statement. It is what are you capable of doing to obtain the necessary contracts with the local, federal, and state levels? What are your past performances? What certifications? What is your NAICS codes? This is where you're able to stand out and have more depth, more color in your business plan. This is your portfolio. And obviously, we talked about the different key components, but we're saving the best for last, which is the executive summary. This is where you're able to captivate, engage, provide that solid evidence that your business will succeed. This is the first section of the business plan, but also the last section that you will write. So we're bringing everything together as a full circle. And this is where you're able to highlight and summarize everything what the reader will be reading. Your company, the products and services that you plan to sell or you're selling. What's your mission statement, the management organizational structure, the target market, and those ideal customers that you like to cater to. Who's your competition, the future of your business or industry. But at the same time, focus on those banking relationships, information regarding of current investors, and those financial data and projections. So right here, it is the first section of the business plan, which we all highlighted beforehand. So think of like the Star Wars. We started episode 4, and now we're rewatching everything and seeing episode 1. So we just started episode 4 of Star Wars, and we'll bring it back towards the original content. And that's my Star Wars reference for the day. And this is always, a business plan is always evolving. So definitely is always shaping based on the markets. So if you have the business plan, the business idea, if it works, is it generating profit? Yes, we're good. But if it's not, why? Why not? Let's work out the kinks and let's and how it was earlier, trial by error, see what works, what doesn't work, and just continue on focusing until you exactly generate the profits that you intend to generate with your business model. And then if and at the end of the day, I am bringing everything back together. So always have these in mind. The executive summary should answer what your product or service will be providing. How does it fill a customer need? What's your competitive advantage, if any, does your product or service has? Who are your target customers? And what goals does your business have? What are the company goals? And how much funds do you need from a loan or investor, and how we use it for? So I just want to thank you all for attending today's webinar. I have seen some questions in the chat, so I'll be able to answer some of those. But definitely encourage you to connect with us in any way, how we can assist you with business needs. You could visit us at our website, which is spdc.fiu.edu. Along, definitely encourage you to like and subscribe our YouTube channel. That's where we have a plethora of webinars that we have held. But this definitely serves as additional tool for your toolbox for your business to grow and succeed as well. And if you have any questions, strongly encourage you to put them in the Q&A or in the chat, as I'm more than happy to answer those questions for you. And last but not least, if you're interested to meet with our business consultants, it's no-cost business consulting to you. Definitely encourage you to scan the QR code, but also in the chat, the link to register is also provided. But once again, if your business is located outside of Miami-Dade, Monroe County, I still strongly encourage you to, one, register for consultation, and secondly, email me so I could make that virtual introduction and build that bridge between you and our respected colleagues from across the network. So like I said, I'm here to guide you to the best of my ability for your business to succeed. So thank you all, and I'm going to see some of the questions right now. Okay. So question number 1. Can you provide contact information for Broward? Yes, it is the Florida SBDC at FAU. So definitely you could definitely register for consultation, and it'll probably direct you to the FAU queue. But send me an email so I could make sure that if everything went through, everything was good standing. so that my counterparts at FAU will be able to provide you the assistance that you're seeking based on the area need that you inquired for. Okay, and then so we work on diversity industry. We have programs that help chief diversity officers to better fulfill their roles. But two people handle the money, HR directors and procurement officers. So using the baby clothing example, yes, the CDOs will be the primary customer segments. Then the HR will be secondary. Because that's the intended target. It's for them to betterment everyone else and down on bottom of the organizational chart for the HR directors and procurement officers. Could you please advise for a consult? Yes, Sandra, I'm not sure your question. Could you please advise for a consultation firm? I'm not sure. Can you elaborate a little bit more in the chat? And I'll be more happy to answer that question for you. And then in regards of an example you can show us, I would love to see the layout. What layout are we talking? And I'll be able to provide the information. So I can help you out. Do you recommend having a press? Should we start focusing efforts on this as well as brand or make our brand more credible? Yes, you could definitely start blogging. That's one opportunity for you. And then you never know who might pick it up, or even LinkedIn has a really good platforms of different groups. You could definitely start becoming like that subject matter expert. So usually I tend to do the LinkedIn 300 workout, which one of my colleagues from the Georgia SBDC gave me. It is have a 100% profile on LinkedIn, connect with at least 100 profiles and within the industry that you like to attend to, but then at the same time, be part of 100 groups and interact. So that's how you're able to get the LinkedIn 300 workout. So by doing so, you're able to become that subject matter expert, get to know what is the industry, what is supposed, and like that, you're able to build that traction as you're the go-to person on that subject material. Okay. Okay, let's see some additional questions. Yes, will we get a recording for this video? Yes, all participants will be receiving today's presentation and recording on YouTube. So definitely encourage you to like and subscribe. I was hoping if there is a market research tools you can recommend to see how the government plans to allocate purchase budgets. Yes, that's going to be more within our Apex Accelerator program, Miguel. So I definitely encourage you to register for consultation, provide your inquiry of the market research tools, how to search for the government, how the government plans to allocate purchase budgets, and we'll be able to connect you with our Apex Accelerator consultant on that side. Yes, the business plan layout. Yes, my recommendation, Dominique, is no two businesses, no two industries are the same. So if you follow the format based on what the components of the business plan entails, you could definitely start providing the content or the material in those particular sections. Okay. Okay. And then I have another question right here. Yes, yes, we do have a plethora of upcoming webinars and seminars. Let me know what type of topics you're interested, because that will be able to email you, but also register you in regards of those workshops as well. So if there's any courses or seminars that you're interested. Okay, and then we do lots of branding, so I'm trying to figure out if I should be more copy heavy with details or optics are more important in breathing room. So it doesn't feel like, yes, correct. It should be more of the latter. that doesn't information overload. It is a quick blurb, what you provide, with some optics. Learn more, click on the link. So, or just like how it is like an ebook, like how they have, you know, it's a good marketing tactic as getting all building an email list as, hey, I have the 10 things how to start your business. I'll give you the first one, but email me, subscribe for the ebook and I'll email you the nine other steps. But instead of, if there is how many, okay, perfect. In regards of, having a lot of information, you might lose the audience. So having like a quick, short to the point, click here to register and learn more, click here, and right there, you're able to have a good understanding as everyone coming to you. The appendices, it all varies based on, like it's always evolving. It's just like a resume. Like obviously you want to have your entire narrative based on your experience from, 20 years to present time, but even what you have done in the last 10 years and have experience in XYZ areas. So based on the appendices, it all varies based on the case studies, the articles. You could do like here, like snapshots of different articles that you have done or been part of or interviewed, links. But at the same time, if there's any certifications, anything along those sorts, you're able to do like, I'm certified in boom, like ABC, and it'll be helpful, but at the same time, building that credibility in the appendices. The intellectual property theme, I coincidentally had an email right now in regards to intellectual property. I think we might do a webinar. I'm not too sure, so I don't want to be speaking out of term. But in the intellectual property theme, shoot me an email and I could do more research on that side. And if there's something, I'll be able to be on lookout and email you the information. Okay. So so I pretty much answered almost every single question. So once again, I want to thank you all for attending today's webinar. Like I said, anything that we get in to assist you, don't hesitate. Give us a call, shoot us an email, as I will be more than happy to guide you through the process. You're not alone. We're here with you along the entire way. Thank you all and have a good afternoon. Take care, everyone.